I do wonder whether it's endemic. We talked about it a little bit earlier, that people are not, they don't easily or immediately turn their mind to the experience of another person, that we remain superficially connected to what we're observing in others. And usually that's around their behaviour. There's an inordinate focus on those very easily observed behaviours or emotional expressions. And the value of shame containment theory and theories like it is the way, one aspect is the way in which it encourages people to consider that another person has a mind. They experience things and they think about things, or they may not even think about it. They have a subconscious or an unconscious mind that is processing and responding to the experience of the world of relationships. I think life is hard, and I think for a lot of people, and I think and if it isn't contemporaneously, it has been, and it will be again. And I think that people habitually defend against considering their own experience, thinking about their own experience. So I think that probably, so my first response would be that I think that everyone probably struggle, not everyone, but a lot of people struggle with making the transition from being a observing and reacting and responding person and practitioner to a thinking one. Mm-hmm. And you can see that, for example, in the level of interest in that's emerging in reflective practice and reflective approaches, yeah, as if that's novel, and and you know, like the reality is, it kind of is novel, because I don't think people naturally reflect on their inner experience. Not so much these days. I wonder whether when psychoanalysis was perhaps more endemic in the way in which we talked about mental health and well-being concerns. Yeah, but I don't even know about that. I maybe I'd just stick with my original answer, which is I don't think people generally turn their mind to their own experience, let alone the experience of others. And I think, again, I'm kind of championing the cause for shame containment theory and attachment theory and other things like that, is that if we're not good at reflecting on our own inner world, our own mind, both conscious and unconscious, and we can be very judgmental towards ourselves for the choices, the behaviours that we've engaged in, the choices that we've made. If we don't, so I think one of the things about shame and shame containment theory is it supports understanding of, in the same way that attachment theory and attachment styles do, understanding of why do I keep reacting in this way in this situation. It's not just the behaviour that is a concern. It's actually the reasons why I do that are, you know, if we can have a conversation or conversations and work out what's really going on there, then there's some hope for healing. And I think, yeah, we've gone through, particularly in the mental health fields, and I think psychology has probably been a big driver of this idea that we don't need to worry about the reasons why behaviours occur. We just need to correct those behaviours. You know, we just need to implement psychological strategies and or engage in behaviours that kind of countermand those behaviours of concern or those experiences of concern. So even professionally, and particularly for psychology, we moved into CBT and we moved away from consideration of the inner world, the unconscious and unconscious motivators and drivers. And maybe shame was part of that. you know, how shame is pervasive. Maybe you'd have to find out more about the original proponents of things like CBT, for example, and wonder about what was their motivation for saying, hang on a minute, we don't need to worry about why, we only need to focus on correcting what.